Hello, gear up to lead heroes. Thank you. I am Dr. Mary Tyszkiewicz, and I am really grateful to be here in Flint today. My dear aunt and her family live in Bay City, so this part of Michigan is in my heart. And I'm always excited to be around people who care about their hometown. My hometown's Chicago, and my current town's Washington, D.C. And I'm excited to share with you how you are already geared up for action because you care. And in my quest to help citizens get ready for disaster, I discovered a natural process that people use to care and connect. In urgent situations, they find all they need to do is care. And if you can work in a small group, you can solve an urgent problem you've never seen before with people you've never met. And it happens frequently. And the best part that I discovered is these small group abilities you can practice with theater improv games, and it's fun. So who else would put fun and disaster together? That would be me. And I am documenting all of this in my new book. It's called Play for Real: How Small Groups Confidently Tackle High-Stakes Events with Caring and Working Together. So the thing about improv games, you can't really talk about them. So that's right, friends. We are going to do one right here, right now. Rookie, total rookie. Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, and in improv, when you make a mistake, you take a failure bow, which I just made a mistake. So I'm going to take a bow, and you guys cheer for me like I did the best thing ever. Thank you. Thank you very much. So one of the things we do in improv is fail is first attempt in learning, and you cheer when you fail. Because that's you learning, that's you being in a new space, in a space you didn't understand, and you got something from it. So thanks for helping me out, everybody. All right, I'm going to ask you all to stand up where you are. So what I want you to do in the beginning is just watch me. Okay, we're going to do a game. It's called Eagle Bear. I'm going to demonstrate. Eagle, feet apart, arms up, eagle. And then you make a sound that you think sounds like an eagle. Nice job. All right. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, now the next move is bear. Okay, so you're going to hunch over, and now your hands become claws. And you start making a sound, yes, like a bear. All right. Good job. Good job. Okay, so I'm going to teach you about improv. When we clap, that means it's the end of the game, and I need you to listen, okay? So that's what clapping means in improv. So this is related to disaster, believe me. So we're going to go into the game. It's a listening game. Can you listen in a dynamic situation? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pair an emotion and a feeling with eagle and bear. So what I want you to do, your job is to stay in motion with that emotion and that animal until you hear the next one. So I'm going to demonstrate angry eagle, sad bear. So you don't stop. You keep going, and it's going to be loud in here. So the test is, can you hear me? And switch over, okay? And we're going to play this only for a minute. And I will bring it back to disaster, and if you play 100%, you get more out of it. All right, ready? Let's go. Angry eagle. Scared bear. Silly eagle. Ferocious bear. Surprised eagle. Nice. Curious bear. Okay, nicely done, nicely done. Please sit down. Well done, everybody. Okay, so as you're settling back into your seats, I want you to reflect on what did it feel like to get up in this auditorium in a place you weren't expecting to do a game. Some of you did this game in front of people you don't know. Some of the common responses I get, I felt embarrassed, I felt awkward, I felt confused, I felt like, what's the point of this? And other people will say, hey, it was fun, it was energizing, it was exciting. And friends, I'm here to tell you, when you're confronted by something unimaginable, you're gonna feel just like that. You're gonna feel confused, awkward, embarrassed, freaked out. Let's just think about the people who were on the campus in Oregon. They didn't know what was happening. So this little taste of this game that you had right here, right now, they felt it many, 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 many times greater. So how is this? So that's why this is related. And in my heroic improvisation class, which gets people ready for disaster, this is the first game we play. And so one of the things, I'm wondering if anyone felt adrenaline rush when I asked you to get up and be like weird. And if you did feel that adrenaline rush, one of the things we point out in the workshop is, hey, did you know fear and excitement show up in your body in the exact same way? Your heart beats, your throat constricts, your hands get sweaty. Guess whose hands are sweaty right now? That would be me. So what we do with these fun improv games, we take that individual fear response that you have, and we show you how to put it into motion with, so you could do heroic action with others. And by the way, nobody gets hurt, so that's good. So I think we get it wrong when we talk about individual heroes. I think when lives are on the line, what really happens is it's a small group of people, a group of 16 or fewer, who really makes a difference in people's lives. So when you are confronted by something you don't imagine, just remember this: you want to help, and you can reach out and work with others. And if you do that, you can take care of a problem you've never seen with people you've never met instantly when a life is on the line. People do it frequently. It's underreported, which is why I'm dedicating to write it down in my book. And here's one of the many ripped from the headlines ideas. Yes, here's one of the ripped of the headlines ideas, examples from my book. So this is a group of people. There's a motorcyclist down there in the corner. He's trapped under a burning BMW. So 16 people showed up to lift this burning BMW off of this person and rescued him. And they followed this 5-step process that I uncovered. And they didn't know each other, and they made it happen. By the way, this guy survived, and he's still on motorcycle. So he's, yeah, pretty cool, huh? So this is the 5-step process that these people went through. Their first step was alert, and I just took you through that game. So when you're confronted by something unimaginable, you're gonna feel awkward, and we want you to bring your whole self to it. So that's the first step, alert, and then the second step is ready. What's around me that could be helpful in this situation? And one of the things that's gonna be helpful is the people around you. The third part is connect. That is, you build a team like that in an instant. In regular team building, we earn trust, but in an unimaginable event, when you want to make a difference, you have to give trust. And we practice that in our improv games. Then we move on to focus. You can see the baton there. So when everyone's focused on the problem, we know what the next right step is, even though we haven't seen it. And somebody in the group is going to say, hey, let's go this way. And then they go through, implement that solution, and we see what happens. And that's why fail's so important, first attempt in learning. This example about the motorcyclist rescue, these people, their first attempt didn't work, but they learned immediately, they turned it around, and they figured it out. And also in that motorcycle rescue, these people rescued that man in less than 2 minutes. They went through this cycle 5 times with 5 different people initiating the action. So it's amazing what really people can do when they care and connect. And so how does the heroic improvisation cycle, how could it help you? I'm confident that all of you can help in a disaster. As long as you care and you can work in a group of 16 or fewer, you can handle a surprise situation. And it doesn't matter that I think you can do it. That's what's so cool about the improv games. We could put you in an improv game. It feels like a high-stakes situation, but it's not. It's a low-stakes practice for a high-stakes situation. And you can get better at it, and you don't have to have a disaster experience to be good at disaster. And one of the reasons I'm so confident in this, I am an analyst, I am a scientist, I am not a quick thinker. And the reason why I'm good at improv now is the difference between me and you is practice. I've been doing it since 2011. Oh, and did I mention it was fun? Yeah, that's the other thing that we're putting into getting ready for disaster. It's fun. So one of the, I got to work with child migrants, and these are people who are away from family and community. And these games help child migrants make a community quickly and learn how to work with each other. So the only thing they come to the border with is their name. And so we did these super fun name games so we could remember their names and people would laugh. And that laughter builds connection, and that connection builds community. And ultimately, these groups of people who were just sometimes living together for 3 weeks, sometimes just a couple of days, they began to know each other and they began to help one another with math class, overcoming language barriers, improv games. You don't need a lot of language to make it work. It's really fantastic about how this all comes together. So when I did this workshop with the child migrant girls, their teacher told me, hey, improv had the biggest impact in math class. And I said, wow, I'm very curious about that. And so what he said was, in his classroom, he has a new student every day. And so he has to assess that student. And so now they're in math class, and the veteran girls finished their homework first. And the new girls were struggling. And so the first veteran girl went to the teacher and said, hey, I want to help a new girl. And then the second veteran girl went to the teacher and said, I want to help a new girl. And then the third one went. And what was so wonderful is that eventually the whole group was peer learning. And for this teacher, the most surprising and exciting part, it had nothing to do with him. It was all about these people in community helping each other. And that's why I know that everybody in this auditorium can do this too. Improv games can help all of us get ready for impossible to imagine events together. During difficult times, many people want to make a difference. They also want to feel confident in their ability to help themselves and others. And improv games are attractive, easily repeatable, and inexpensive ways to do this. I got to do this with disaster survivors in the Philippines after the super typhoon. 100 days afterwards, there was no electricity, friends. Oh, guess what? There was no roofs. Yep, and we did these games. Our only restriction was we needed to do it before the sun went down. And these games help people laugh. They help people connect to the abilities they actually used in the super typhoon to save each other's lives in the rising floods. It was so inspiring. So that's why I know everybody in this audience has this ability already. And you can practice it in a really fun way. This is, I'm running out of time, but this is the lovely FEMA Corps, where I learned some of these great lessons about how people innovate during Hurricane Sandy. Here's some of the child migrant people doing the caregivers doing improv games. And this is where I want to leave you for today. So I am honored to be in an auditorium about people who really care for their hometown and their commitment to make a difference. You're the problem solvers of the future, and you're going to be confronted by difficulties, maybe a difficulty in the range of what happened in Oregon yesterday. And I'm confident that all of you are here, you can care, and you know how to work in a small group, you could conquer that situation too. I've showed all of you that you do have this ability. So when you're in the confusion of the disaster, this is what I want you to remember. I want you to remember the whiting. I want you to remember that you made a commitment to help. And that's all you really need to be able to turn that situation around. Happy tears. And think of yourselves as guardians of the galaxy, right? So you might not be able to do it by yourself, but you have these small group abilities and you can do it with others. So don't let the fear of the unimaginable stop you from doing action. And so go off and do good things. I know you are. Have an adventure together and report back. I'm interested in what you're going to do. So thank you very much.